I hope all of you know my name. Our big family. I have been uploading videos since so long, and I guess you guys might be getting the help, the much needed help, the much needed guidance from all those videos which I have uploaded already there. Are already on my channel or on in the playlist. You can check them out anytime whenever you want to. So let's discuss about the upcoming prelims, which is scheduled for June 2022, and let's hope there is no postponement or any kind of rescheduling for the same exam. So I hope you all have been preparing well and you have been trying the level best in order to complete the syllabus. Obviously, the syllabus is very important thing to. In order to complete the syllabus, you are supposed to divide the entire syllabus into small parts so that everything becomes crystal clear. When it comes to preparing for UPSC, you need to have a clear picture in your mind about your goal. Unless and until you do not have that clear picture in your mind of your goal, things really become difficult. So when it comes to preparation, you need to make a schedule for yourself, make a timetable. Yeah, I'm telling you to make a timetable because that's important. That's important just to make you consistent with your studies in your preparation. Consistency is very important. It's the key when it comes to preparing for UPSC. If you're not consistent with your preparation, things would really become difficult and it would not be that easy for you to appear with that confidence for prelims, which has been required from an aspirant. With this mindset in your mindset that you'll be able to crack this exam, you should be that much confident. So in order to get confidence, you should be consistent with your preparation. So here are a few tips which you need to acknowledge or which you should follow when it comes to preparation for prelims. Now it's a 22nd of March when I'm recording this video. I'm actually live. So from today itself, let's say there are around more than 2 months left with you guys to in order to prepare yourself for the upcoming prelims of UPSC. When it comes to appearing for the exam, you should have a clear idea about the syllabus, how much you have covered, and how much is still left. Covering the syllabus doesn't mean that you are just superficially covering all the topics, and in order to give yourself that satisfaction that entire syllabus has been covered, you should also. Okay, give me a minute. So, in order to make this entire thing work for you guys, you should actually ask yourself, you should introspect that how much syllabus has been covered and how much is there left which needs to be covered and which you guys are supposed to uh, look into so that when it comes to appearing for prelims you should have that much of confidence inside you that okay fine, I have completed at least 70 to 80% of my syllabus and I'm ready to appear for the exam, and you'll have that confidence that yes, I can crack this exam anyhow. So here, when it comes to the subjects which are more important, so there'll be some people, so-called seniors, who might be telling you not to prepare medieval history or ancient history because there are very few questions which have been asked these particular sections in the recent past. But I guess all of you guys might be doing this thing that you guys have been uh, you know, uh, taking those test series exams, and also you might have been, those the previous year papers you might have attempted that, then you might have seen that those previous year papers are the key to in order to crack the prelims exam. From those previous year question papers, you might have realized that in the previous year, in the 2021 prelims examination, there were some questions which were never asked. They were never asked before. Nobody would have even anticipated such questions from UPSC. There were questions from awards. There were questions from sports, like tennis and cricket. So when it comes to talking about the UPSC, the entire syllabus is sort of an ocean where you have to cover the entire syllabus. But still, there are some points which are more important. So no need to panic. Then there could be some students who might be thinking that some aspirants, sorry to call you students because you're the aspirants, you might be thinking that okay, fine, if I'll be, it's more important for me to cover the entire syllabus instead of focusing on some particular topics. But I would rather say that instead of covering the entire syllabus, which is actually very vast, you guys might be aware of by this time that entirely covering the entire syllabus of UPSC is not a kid's game. It's not a piece of cake. It's not that easy. Yeah, it is not a cakewalk. You guys have to, prioritize some topics. There are some topics like when it comes to history, when we talk about modern history, that one particular part is the major portion where most of the questions been asked. So when it comes to medieval history, yeah, there are some portions from where the questions have been asked. When it there, do not prepare those factual questions. Always try to look at the bigger picture. Always try to make up a story out of one particular event which has occurred in past. Like when it comes to ancient history, when we talk about the ancient history, there are certain travelers which UPSC is getting more interested into. Where did they arrive? What were the condition? What was the condition of women at in that particular town? What exactly was happening over there? How the what geographical view they have described uh, in their entire work. Obviously the travelers, they have after visiting one particular place, they do describe the events, the geographical unity, the diversity, whatever has been happening in the one particular area, they describe it. So in order to get an an idea about one particular event, you should have a basic idea. You'll get that basic idea from the previous year question papers, from where you'll be able to make get few topics which are more important for you to uh, you know uh, get an idea about which topics are to be prepared. So when I'm talking about UPSC preparation for prelims, you guys really need to go for previous year question papers, check out the topics which were more important, and which are very important, and from which the questions have been asked so frequently. You might have observed this thing that UPSC has been asking from the same topic since so long, but the patterns have been changed. So practice such patterns, right? When you'll start practicing such pattern of questions, then you'll get a heck of what exactly UPSC has been looking at. So in order to get uh, the exact idea, obviously you'll get a rough idea, not the exact idea, but still there are a few topics which need to be prepared thoroughly instead of preparing the entire syllabus. Do not look for covering the entire every other topic which has been mentioned over there in our syllabus. You're not supposed to do that. You just focus on the most important topics from which UPSC has been asking questions so frequently or so often. So, like, if we'll talk about some of the questions or some of the topics, like I have already told you about modern history, which is the favorite part of UPSC, which has been the questions have been asked on that particular part more often. So the Congress, obviously, what has happened in the ancient history, there were taxes. More, I guess you might be aware of the one question. You might have come across this question. What was a hundi called in ancient times? What was it? Such sort of questions are need to be addressed properly when it comes to preparation or preparing for UPSC prelims, right? Now, most of you guys might be appearing, might be taking those test series. You might be scoring well over in those test series, and still, I would say none of the questions, none of the questions has ever appeared in any UPSC prelims examination from those so-called test series. I'm not discouraging you. I'm not asking you to for give up on those test series, but still, you guys need to look forward. Just start preparing those previous year question papers. Start looking for them and start identifying, start distinguishing the topics which have been mentioned over there, which have been, from which the questions have been asked more frequently. focus on those topics very thoroughly. You should know what exactly is been mentioned in those topics. Every other thing, you should be aware of every other thing in that particular topic. So when it comes to um, the GS paper, you should be aware of you should be knowing the topics such as from the subjects such as economy, history, geography, then obviously environment. Environment covers a very, very big part, very huge part. You guys might be aware of this. Some of you might not be aware that UPSC prelims is not just for CSC exam, civil services examination. It's for forest examination as well. So when it comes to forest, obviously 30 to 40% of weightage would be given to forest part, that environment part. So when it comes to the 30 to 40% of the weightage, you can expect a heavy load of marks from this particular section. Most of us ignore this particular section because we think that if we'll focus on the environment section, how many questions could be asked from this in this particular section? Yeah, that's the worst thing to ignore. So you should not be ignoring the environment part. That's very important. So now we have made it clear. We have established this fact that environment part is very important. Now the second thing is science and technology. Science and technology is very important. You guys cannot afford to ignore this one particular section. Obviously science and technology could not be ignored at any cost. So science and technology, whatever has happened lately in science and in the science field and the technology sector, you should be aware of that. I hope you all guys might have been following the newspaper regularly. Obviously, the newspaper is a best source of the latest technological advancements which have been happening in our society, in our in this universe. Obviously, we can call it universe. We have to cover the entire thing. What the Hubble telescope has been discovering out there in the space, and what sort of satellites have been launched by ISRO or NASA or some other space agencies. So we should be aware of every other thing. Now, when it comes to science and technology, you should always be more focused, more concerned about the name of the satellite, which space agency has launched it, and the technological part. Technology, what technology has been used lately? Like when we talk about technology, there is a blockchain technology which has been discussed so frequently. It is in vogue right now because it's been thought that it's a kind of secure means of storing the data. So data analysis has been taken into consideration all the time when it comes to our data, your privacy, my privacy, whatever our data has been stored. So it should be stored in some sort of in a system where it would become really difficult for anybody who would really feel like stealing that particular data. So we have to conserve our data. We have to preserve it. So in order to preserve the data, the blockchain technology comes so handy. So these are the sort of things which you need to be more focused about. Now, when it comes to economy part is very, very crucial. Economy is very crucial. When it comes to economy, then there is this RBI guidelines. RBI guidelines, what has been happening with the RBI, what is our, repo rate, what is reverse repo rate, you guys should be aware of it. Then, just go through the syllabus as many times as you can, because these are the things which have been asked so frequently, so often. And then you should not ignore WTO at all. Obviously that the green box, orange box, whatever those boxes are, you should be, uh, aware and more comfortable with any question which comes out of this WTO topic. Then, if there is some FTA been signed with some other country, you should also be aware of that FTA which has been signed with some other country. Because when India goes out for business and has been signing some FTA with with the European Union or with some other, like there are always already talks about FDA, the free trade FTA, which is about to be signed with the European Union. Still, we know there are a bit of apprehensions which have been happening over there, but still, we should know about it. Then the FTA which we are looking forward to signing with the UK. Yeah, now we all are aware of this fact that UK is out of the European Union, so it's been looking for partners with whom it can trade on its own. without the help of European Union, right? It's been expecting to diverse its exports, or as well as diverse its partners with whom it can trade with. So it's very important. Now, then again, that's all. That's not actually all. This is a then there is a very big economy is a very vast field to cover with, but still there are certain fields which should be covered very thoroughly, right? So then, when it comes to covering, the government schemes, they are very important, very viable. When it comes to some scheme which is related to women, some children, that's also very important scheme. You should never ignore such a scheme. I guess you might be aware of this that one particular booklet which has been released by IES, Shankar IES. All the government schemes have been comprehended in one particular document, right? So you can get your hands, if you are able to get your hands on that particular document, you'll be able to revise all those government schemes which have been out there lately. What else? Then yes, science and technology we have covered. We have covered environment section. We have covered history section. We have covered our economy section. These are very crucial sections. You should never take them lightly. I'm telling you, it's not just an exam. It's a war. There is a cutthroat competition over there, and you guys might be aware of the cutoff. Always, always, know what the cutoff was in the previous examination and in the previous and prior to that. What exactly you guys might must be astonished. There could be many who would already know about it, what the cutoff was, but the few who might not have that idea what the usual cutoff is. It's nowadays it's been below 50%. Can you imagine? 200 exams, 200 marks of GS paper has been conducted, and the cutoff for journal is around 92 to 93. In 2021 it was 92 93. Sorry, 2020. Just imagine, such a low cutoff and still people are not able to pass through, not able to get through. So there could be something which has been preventing, which has been apprehending aspirants to, cross this cutoff. What could that be? Have you ever given a thought about it? Now, when it comes to thinking about what exactly has been happening with aspirants, why they are not even able to cross this 92, 93 mark out of 200, which is very low. It's below 50%, around 45 to 46%, 46%, right? So what exactly has been happening over here? When it now here comes the very difficult, underrated section of this examination, that is CSAT. Most of us are aware of CSAT, but we don't take it seriously, which is our biggest mistake. We do not take CSAT that seriously, how much it should be taken as. CSAT is the key. You might have come across some of the results where aspirants have scored around 124, 134, even 144, but were not able to pass that they were not able to pass 66.6 marks cutoff of CSAT, which is just a qualifying exam. I can understand. I know. I'll I'll hope that every one of you might be aware of this fact that CSAT is just a qualifying exam, but still 66.6 marks out of 200. It is actually becoming a very big game. We are not even, most of the aspirants are not even able to cross this mark of 66.6 marks. Right? So I guess from now, from this one particular moment, you might have realized that how important CSAT is. Never ignore CSAT. If you have not started your preparation yet, you're already lagging behind. Just to in order to make it up to the other aspirants, make it up to yourself, make just to get a step closer to the other aspirants, you need to start preparing for CSAT right now. There are a couple of channels on YouTube who might be teaching you about CSAT. Yes, they are very important. Or if you might have already been taking coaching for this one particular section, which is called as CSAT, then it's very good. Never ignore CSAT. I would say, many have ignored CSAT and they have suffered. They have paid the price for this. They have, um, you know, obviously they were not aware of the consequences, but at the time, but those consequences are they're paying for that, those mistakes which they have committed by ignoring CSAT. Just imagine what would happen, what kind of what state of mind an aspirant would be in when he has already been, or he or she has already been preparing for GS and has scored around 144 marks, where the cutoff is only 92, and was is not able to cross that 66.6 mark or cutoff mark of CSAT. You can well imagine how difficult, how difficult would it be for that one particular aspirant. What kind of situation would that aspirant would be in? I myself have, obviously it's a unfortunate incident which happened to me. I have suffered this thing. I was not able to, pass my CSAT because I did ignore it. I should not have done it. Yeah, I know that. I feel for that. I feel for you guys. I feel for myself because I was not able to. There was nobody to guide me. There was no, when I started my preparation with, most of the people told me that CSAT is just a qualifying exam and there is nothing to be worried about. So I thought that, okay, fine. I just took their word. I just, um, tried to play by their word the game. I thought that, CSAT actually might not be that big of a deal. But when I was not able to crack that 66.6, obviously most of you might be mocking me because I was not able to pass that 66.6 cutoff mark for CSAT. But actually it's very difficult when it comes to the English section of CSAT. Assumptions really make things very difficult. You might be assuming something, and the examiner might be having some different assumptions. The only thing which might save you is if you are good in maths, good with the reasoning, then those things could actually help you out. Yeah, there are some other students who actually have lost or were not able to pass this 66.6 uh, mark or point cutoff because they thought that they'll be covering all the questions, they'll be attempting all the questions. In order to attempt all the questions, they were actually passing this cutoff, but because of the over attemptation and the negative marking, they fell short of the 66.6 cutoff mark, which was actually required to qualify for CSAT. It's so sad. I hope all of you might be aware of this and you might not be doing the same, right? So I hope this particular session of ours would help you a lot and would make you understand and would give you some insight about this examination, which is very, very crucial. Never take it lightly. You are actually devoting a lot of your life's time. Time is very precious. Never lose it for anything. Now it's the right time for you guys to prepare. If you're still not prepared properly, just stop doing everything else. Start studying, start preparing, start prioritizing the topics. Do not go for the entire ocean. Only look for the place where you'll find more fishes, right? I hope I've touched your nerve. I hope, but still, I would, hope that you guys would do well. I wish all the very best to each and every aspirant out there. You do well in an exam, you'll be able to crack UPSC prelims this time. Okay, we'll keep meeting. We'll keep having these sessions. I'll. I was thinking of starting some, you know, topics. I'll be teaching some topics. If some of you might be interested, I have been getting texts that I should start with some of the topics which most of the people are having problems with. No problem. I'll start with some of the topics. Lately, I'm sort of busy in my own preparation and has been taking up some other things in my life which are a bit of more important right now. So I'll start preparing. I'll start teaching some topics. I hope you guys will join me with that. Okay. Thank you.